We were going to have a quiet walk in the woods today, but right across the street, guess what? They decided to start logging some property. So you may hear some noise in the background, but that's just life. A quote from Samuel B. Pettingill from his book Smokescreen, circa 1940. This book is written to demonstrate that we are moving towards National Socialism and that from now on we should move away from it. It is not intended as a partisan discussion. It is, however, political in the sense that the American Constitution is political. Heretofore, both great parties and their leaders and platforms have been forthright in their loyalty to the fundamental concepts of government upon which we have built the greatest and happiest civilization the world has ever known. To the men and women of both parties who still think that America is the last best hope of earth and are willing to fight to save it for their boys and girls, I dedicate these pages.
It's relatively flat right here, and we have a little clearing which would be perfect for putting a structure.
Yeah.
Which my daughter has got this staked out for herself.
She's already spied her a spot to put a little cabin.
I see at the drawing board right now trying to get the infrastructure working on pricing sewer hookups and that type of thing. And during the spring and summer, you cannot see through these woods.
Yeah.
It's very, very private. Since we've had a drought and then we've had freezing temperatures, and so it's made it quite visible. But as soon as April or May comes around, we'll have more foliage that would make it more private.
I think it's nice.
A couple of trees need to be cut down, and of course the area cleaned out, but it's just the perfect area to place something, and with a porch, say, coming out to this point, and then you have the little meadow or hill to look down.
Oh yeah. Come out of your little cabin and have that view in the morning and walk down a hill.
Yeah, it's just beautiful looking toward that cedar tree.
Yeah.
It's what I actually liked about the property when we saw it. I just saw I could envision a cabin at the top of this hill or a camping spot.
Yeah, and y'all had originally only bought that piece over there, right? And then you added to it and bought this one while it was still available. Ooh, tree just fell. I think it was smart to buy the second piece. I think it was very smart. And then y'all know you're friends with the people that live on the other side of you.
We know our neighbors, and neighbors that have stopped by to visit with us have been very, very cordial and welcoming and nice. And
Yeah.
have indicated that it's a very good, happy area, to be in.
So what are y'all's goals for the property?
The goals are to use it as I don't want to say a weekend getaway, because being retired, we can stay up here for longer periods of time, 2 to 3 days to a week, but we're close enough to home to help with whatever we need to do at home. Right now, I've had a few spots like one spot I would not mind putting up some type of a deck and with a wall tent, almost like a canvas wall tent that if we had friends up,
let them glamp.
Let them glamp. Yeah, in fact, that would be a good glamping spot too.
You could just build a raised deck there and then have a tent you could put up when people come.
Yeah, so glamping's not out of the question either. And then my daughter, she really wants to make what she calls a meditation walk. I tend to refer to it as a prayer walk. I know with the noise in the background,
Yeah, but that's just
the
life.
noise
There's
in the
always
background
noise.
is you can't be still and be quiet and know that I am God. But the one reason that I wanted to buy this place, when it is quiet, you can hear the trees. It's the sound
Yeah.
of country that we used to hear when we went to the doll house.
Yeah.
That was in one of your previous videos.
The dollhouse was the original home of our great grandmother. She used to live very near where I live now in Louisiana, but she had died before we were born. But we used to go there on the weekend sometimes with our grandparents, and we would just stay up there, and it was so quiet. We could hear the crows. We walked through the woods with our pawpaw, and we enjoyed it so much. And it's made a big impact on both Dara and I as far as our childhood memories.
But you can hear the wind, you can hear the trees, the birds, and as far as goals, right now we come up here and we sit on the porch. We just get the lawn chairs out and we sit on the porch. We haven't even barbecued. We've made sandwiches, stayed a few hours, and then go home. But we've come to be still. We sit and talk, and then we go back home and face the rat race.
Yeah.
But my goal is to just have a weekend or more getaway. My daughter took a machete the other day and she started trying to chop her way through a meditation walk.
But that's the end of y'all's property there, but would she turn and go that way, or which way was she going to go with it?
Well, we were starting behind the cabin, and we figured we could go down or up the property line.
Yeah.
And cross over and go as far as we could.
Yeah, because you got all this over here.
We could go around the property. We could zigzag through the little woods.
Yeah.
We haven't mapped it out, but we've talked about it, and we feel like we could get a zigzaggy type of little trail,
little prayer walk. Yeah.
That would take somebody maybe 20 or 30 minutes, to walk. On the other side of the cabin is a ravine that we could actually put a small bridge over.
Yeah.
And I think my neighbor would like to do something similar so that we can walk and see each other, but we could actually put the bridge over and to where somebody maybe took a turn and came back to the beginning of the trail behind the cabin.
Can you walk along the back now, or do we need to go the other way?
No, right now it just needs to be cleared out. We got started back there behind. I fell right here.
I know. I had a feeling that was where you had fell at.
And right now, I've been too scared to go in there because of snakes.
Yeah.
And say South Mississippi is famous for its rattlesnakes. So.
Yeah. Hey, this is their home. We just invading it.
Here's the property line.
Yeah. I see all the orange tags everywhere.
Yeah. We really have a pretty good ways. It's probably 200 or more foot. Really more than 200 foot, because this property's 269 wide, to get back to behind the cabin.
Yeah.
There's a deer feeder behind the cabin, but we'll have a trail coming up this way, crossing the drive, going toward the edge of the property over there.
Yeah.
Maybe just snake it back around. I hadn't decided yet.
You'd be surprised what one day with a skid steer could do to push down some of these little things. There's somebody locally that might just come in one day and push a trail down through here.
That's what my son-in-law said.
Yeah.
He may if rent one.
Yeah, well, if he can operate it, just rent one for one day and kind of.
I know when she wants that bad, so she's going to make it happen.
Well, yeah.
the trail.
And I was telling you, who would have ever thought, really, when you first bought it, you kind of bought it just as a little place to go, maybe even have a little bug out place if you needed something. And then your daughter looks at it, my niece, and says, What about a prayer walk? Was never on your bucket list,
I
to
didn't
you?
think about that.
But it's like she saw it, and that's immediately what she thought of, and I thought that was great. And then that means everybody that comes up here, like you said, could enjoy it, and the grandbaby can enjoy it, you know, and walk it.
And like you said, if we get a prayer walk established, like you said, someone may come up here and have some type of inspiration that they never thought that they would receive, and we may, change someone's life just from a thought that they may have had while they're walking the trail.
Yeah.
We love hiking anyway. We like not strenuous hikes, but we love to go to state parks and
Well, I think
just
that's
walk around.
that's kind of the center point of a lot of retreats that people go on for church and things. And the center point is prayer walks and paths, and then little vignettes along those paths where you can stop and pray or stop and think. And I think that'd be wonderful to kind of have up here. Why not?
Easily construct some benches.
Yeah, some benches.
To just sit and
little plaques on a tree or statues, little.
Yes.
In the Catholic Church we have the Stations of the Cross, and that's just a complete meditation time you can have with God, and you can always kind of mimic something like that up here.
Of course, this goes downhill. There is some erosion. The water flows downhill, but I mean, it's been here for.
I would just work with it. Like right there, you can see where water flows downhill, but I would just work with it and like have a creek.
Right.
Why not have a creek?
I know. I joked. We were talking, of course, the other day, and I'm 60 years old, and you're close behind me.
But I am behind you.
Sister.
I am behind you.
It's taken me till I'm this old to even just get the courage to purchase something, and thanks to YouTube, you got me started watching YouTube. I just like to watch it. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I watched one lady who just gave some tips on buying small property, and her number one tip was start small. Just start small. So we started with 1 acre, and now we have 2 acres.
The next thing I know, you pulled the trigger on another acre. So
yeah.
And then this is for sale behind you, and not a bad price. I looked at it on the internet yesterday. Lainey doesn't need any more property to take care of, but I tell you what, you ought to grab it while you can.
Well, with the economy, I decided to take some money out of retirement accounts, move it from, instead of letting it evaporate because of the stock market, move some money to purchase the land that we're standing on now.
A real asset that's not subject to fluctuations of the stock market.
Right. I know I won't get rich per se off trying to resell this land if I ever did, but I don't think it'll go down in value.
I think right now you could sell it for more, just simply from adding that cabin, clearing off what y'all have cleared off.
Possibly so.
Y'all have had people come take out a few of those trees up front, and not that you want to sell it, but I'm just saying it's an investment that's not going to go down. You want to walk back this way? And
this one cleared out. Look how flat that is.
Oh yeah.
That house could be built right here.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a big acre here. You could have another couple of, both of the kids come up here and build a cabin or something. Talking about pulling the trigger and everything and taking money out of retirement, that goes through my mind a lot lately, because I would love to do that and go ahead and be buying some land near me if I could, just to have it. But we've been in a situation the last couple of years of tax situations with trying to get stabilized. He went on Social Security and he went on disability.
Yeah.
And it already, because of the long-term disability, we're already in the having half our Social Security taxed.
Yeah.
And the last few years, because we sold some property it's threw us up to having 85% of
Yeah.
his Social Security tax. And if I go to take money out of 401ks and all, I'm paying penalties. Plus, it could put us in a higher tax bracket.
Right,
It's just
right.
made it, it's hard to do. So I haven't done it. But in the next few years, I'm going to see what the economy does. And I want to do that too, because I don't know, it's just not as important. I know this might sound crazy and it goes against everything we were taught and we were told working and all. But it's not all about having this big stash pile to have when we're 80 years old.
Right.
You know, we're trying our best to live debt free now, not accrue any debt. And I just kind of want to do things that'll benefit my children and leave something in this world rather than me and Richard just saying, well, y'all fend for yourselves. We want to keep our 401k
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
So let's walk this way.
I just
So-
feel in my heart that land will at least maintain its value.
Yeah, they don't have to live on it, but I would like to at least be able to leave them property. Maybe even buy some property my son could use to hunt on and stuff, but and the kids could go up on and ride a four-wheeler or something, but I just feel it's safer than sitting in banks. And the big thing right now is everybody talking about Klaus Schwab's words, you'll own nothing and be happy. Well, I don't agree with that, of course. Nobody does. Nobody wants to live that way. But one way to counteract that is to keep buying instead of just keeping money in accounts that can be absconded really through theft of the banking system and theft of inflation.
Right.
Buy assets.
I don't agree with the own nothing and you'll be happy. I feel like ownership, whether it's land ownership or home ownership, is what young people need because it puts the fire in your belly to do what you can do to keep earning money,
Yeah.
to maintain it and improve it. And there's just no better feeling to me than owning something outright. I felt so good when my house was paid off recently.
Yeah.
And to not have a mortgage.
And it frees you up with money to help our kids. It's not that our kids are all sitting here needing help. Mine don't ask for help. Yours don't ask for help. But it gives you options as a grandparent, to say, I'd love to do this for y'all. Can I do this for y'all? Whereas when it's all stashed away in a 401k or when it's all tied up in debt payments, you can't do that for your grandkids, and you can't do that for your kids. And
talking about what I intend for the property, over in that area over there, I can envision maybe flattening it out a little bit, and that's where I'll have a fire ring.
Oh, okay.
And a gathering place around the fire. My daughter said she loves Adirondack chairs, so I'll try to invest in a couple of those. And I eventually want to extend the deck to the back of the, toward the back.
They just built the new little deck right there.
If I don't, that's okay too. I'd like to maybe put some steps, but the fire area will be close to that. I could envision even right over in this little meadow over here, I could even envision a tent. We had guests. So
You're gonna have a retreat center for it's
I
over.
don't know, yeah. I could, like my daughter and son-in-law, they have friends who tent camp, and so that's right up their alley, And
Yeah.
so I'm not opposed to putting
Can you
a
walk that way?
permanent tent structure, that with a deck that some of their friends can use.
Well, there again, they can use it. It's like we enjoy. If you purchase a real hard asset like land or something, you can enjoy it more than you can enjoy the money sitting in your bank.
Yeah.
And your kids can enjoy it.
And I've also decided, although I do want to get the top tier smoothed out, and get some grass on it. I've decided I'm not going to fight what God is doing with the land. In other words, I'm not going to worry about resculpting the hills or
Yeah.
that.
I like hills. I like hills.
You can see there's a big difference between the depth at the front of the cabin versus the back of the cabin, and we'll just deal with that. And we're on a hill, coming back here, but that won't hurt a fire pit, and we can have steps or whatever we need to do to get down to the fire area.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave this all foliage. I'm not going to worry about clearing out too much of this other than a trail system.
Yeah, because if somebody does buy behind you, this gives you a good buffer.
And it was beautiful during the spring before Louisiana and the South, etc., went through the drought. It was just so much foliage, and we would mow up to the line of the bushes, and it was very pretty, and it'll be that way again once spring comes.
Another thing that was on my mind, you listen to Catherine Austin Fitz every now and then, don't you?
Every now and then.
I love listening to her. I subscribe to her channel, and then she's on USA Watchdog a lot. But that's one of the things she talks about, which I never really heard a whole lot of growing up, and I never really thought of too much, is becoming, in other words, keeping your money kind of in your family. Like if we are of an age to have some funds put back, none of us are rich, but I'm just saying some funds put back to use those to kind of help you. I'm not talking about give your kids the money, but I'm talking about you could even become the bank for your children and get them out of that system of borrowing from people who don't know them and don't care about them, and try to rip them off as best they can with fees and interest. And she highly recommends kind of becoming the source that they can borrow from to get a car, and they pay you back. Even if you charge a modest interest, you're still not ripping them off, and you're not, you have to have some agreements with your kids on that, and you have to trust them. But the point she's trying to make is just extricating ourselves kind of from the system. Look at that trunk of that tree. I think that's very interesting. That's just here's a bottle. Found me a bottle. I don't know what it's from or if it's anything. I always like to find bottles in the woods. Look at the trunk to this tree. That's the most tall, skinny roots I've seen in a while. It's unusual.
This reminds me when you and I were little, we used to go up to the dollhouse and we used to walk in the woods, and I just thought it was I was out,
do you remember finding bottles and stuff? That's why I grabbed this bottle. We used to do that when we were little, and we would find, I wish I'd have kept things like that.
And my grandbaby, she came walking through the other day, and she just had a ball. I mean, they almost had to stop her a lot because she would go toward the thorns. There are some thorns, but she just had a ball. You would have thought she was at Disney World.
Yeah.
Just walking in the woods with Papa and Mom and Daddy. I didn't go. I was scared.
What you see, Daryl?
Oh, there's a unique tree
The tree with a hole in it over here?
One day, I'm going to come out here when it's warmer and see soil like that.
Yeah.
And you cut notches in a stick.
Yep.
And rub the stick and beat the stick, and that's how you draw up the night crawler.
Well, tell them how you know that.
I know that from my Uncle Chuck. We call him Chuck. And he's 2 years older than me, and he used to love to make forts in the woods and camps, and he's taught me everything I knew. We would ride mini bikes and everything else.
But I remember you used to try to sell them too.
We
And,
used to try to sell them, and
Catawba
he
worms.
would try to sell them. My papa taught me how to not catawba worms, catawba or catawba.
I just say
I call them
catawba.
catawba worms.
I do too. I don't
out
care
of
how
the
I don't know how it's
trees.
pronounced.
And of course, you fill a milk jug when they still make paper milk cartons. I think they do.
Yeah, they're
Or
kind
you
of
could
plastic
take
coated.
the plastic now. You fill them up with water, and you can freeze the catawba worms and use them for catfish bait.
Right.
And
I don't see those trees a lot anymore.
This is the type of soil.
Oh yeah, no,
that
there's
would,
earthworms
in my
all down in that.
opinion, Yeah, in my opinion, it would produce.
So I have a hole like that in one of my
This is
trees,
neat.
and I'm pretty sure that's where an armadillo loves to live.
Love.
I have a hole in the front tree at my house, looks just like that. And my dogs go crazy at the hole sometimes, so I think like an armadillo might live in
And
there.
I joke about, I've always wanted to have creek front property.
You got creek back property.
I have this wash here. We have this wash that I guess we could say it's a seasonal creek or a fair weather creek.
See, I'm looking at that right there thinking armadillo holes too.
Might be a wet weather creek causing some erosion.
Yeah. Looks good in person. Richard eating grapes there. No, it looks really good. It looked good on camera the other day, but it looks even better in person. I like the colors.
Reinforce the bed a little bit. I'll have a little 8-inch mattress on it. I'm not sure that's going to be enough, but
Yeah.
we'll deal with that later. It's a mattress that I had.
Yeah.
And I like it better having moved the shelf.
Yeah. Well, I get that it does look like a wall, but I like it against that wall over there. That way you have more walking room. And then the bench at the end of the bed. I like that. Where'd you get your little curtains and all from?
I bought them from Walmart.
I was going to show this a little better because you mentioned it on the video the other day. You actually do have a bull sitting on a little futon. And you're calling this the No Bull Shed, and somebody said that ought to be the name of our channel, the No Bull Shed channel.
Well, we could if
That's cute.
my son-in-law made me an aluminum bull head.
Yeah.
And what's funny, I said when you gotta give it a signature, so he put, like he welded this, but he's got off of one horn, he's got pearls hanging down. And off the other horn, he's got, I don't remember, but he made sure
I wonder why he thought of pearls when he thought of making something for
He
you.
put pearls hanging off one of the horns. And we're going to put that somewhere on the wall. We forgot it at the house, but we were going to probably put it on that wall or that wall behind you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you got plenty of other spaces to put that.
But,
So it's a welded bull with pearls.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
It has pearls.
Three-dimensional or just flat or what?
It's flat, and it'll just go, it could go outside or it could go on the wall inside.
Yeah.
Right now we have, there's no electricity, no water in here, no sewer. We just use the composting method if we need to.
Natural method, huh?
Which I get laughed at because I bought the horse pellets. But nobody's used them except me.
Well, do the horse pellets work in the compost toilet?
Yeah, what the horse pellets do is they absorb moisture, and you're covering, you're covering whatever with maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and so it absorbs, so you can dispose
And then you just add.
of it.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you
easier.
just keep adding it in there, or what do you do, or you go on and throw it out?
Yes, the little toilet has a bucket in it, and at any point that you want, you have a biodegradable bag, which I just bought off of Amazon, and you use the horse pellets, and at any point if you want to tie the bag up and put it in a larger trash bag, and it either can go out with your garbage or you can bury eventually. But right now, I mean, that's what we do, you know, for
Yeah.
the little bit of time that we're here.
Yeah.
Our next project is to try and get a sewer system put in.
The kind of overarching theme today that we were kind of thinking of when we were brainstorming was like on her little picture over here, just to be still and know that I am God. And she had this picture that she happened to find with that kind of on it, part of it. And this is their effort to create a space that they can come up here and kind of unplug and be still. The interior is 12 by 20.
10 by 20.
10 by 20,
Yeah.
okay. And it's
Well, they say 12, but when you actually measure, and they'll tell you that too, the interior ends up being about 10.
okay,
Although it's a 12 by
20
20
exterior
shed.
shed, okay.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say, it's very spacious. Just for people that are thinking of doing things like this, it's very spacious in here. No, there's no indoor bathroom in here yet or anything. But what I'm saying is, you have space for the bed. You have your little living area here, and this could be scooted over a little bit. Richard's
Yeah.
sitting there right now. So, and then and then you have your kitchen area up front, but you also have this wall space here that you have your sink area. So you have everything you need. And then with the deck outside, show the little deck. With the deck outside, see Daryl's sitting out there now. They have a little front porch that you could sit on if you needed to. And Daryl, what she was saying a while ago is she's wanting to maybe extend this deck back, maybe even have a bathroom come out this way. And you would have your door to the bathroom on this wall. And or you could even have an exterior entrance to the bathroom, I guess, huh?
I thought about that.
Yeah. If you didn't want to lose any wall space in here, and
Right.
you could enter the bathroom from
I
outside.
mean, at night, if you had it a lighted path or some type of
You're right.
lighting.
Well, if somebody was glamping over there, or they could walk over here to the bathroom
Exactly.
without bothering y'all. So, yeah, it's a lot of options.
And then
I'm just
could
saying, you have a lot of
utilize your
options.
portable options during the night.
Yeah.
You know, if you needed to.
But there's lots of options just for a 12 by 20 little shed like this. Ooh, who made your pretty red tables?
Wonderful riser, and
Who
you
made
who made
those?
Table, my sister from Hilltop Home Place. So you made
Beautiful
the
red
you made
tables.
the table a number of years ago for our mother, and
She gave it away.
She gave it to me whenever she knew I was doing this. Now this you made a long time ago.
I think that was in the shop where I had a booth, wasn't it? You bought it or something?
But I used this in an office for 5 years. It was I took it up to an office and had it a nice, beautiful lamp on it, and
they're tearing down a house by me, and I saw the wood this morning. I told Richard, I said, I wish I had some of that wood, because sometimes I want to get back into making furniture again. But
you do good work. I mean, you have a knack for the painting part of it. For instance, my coffee table at home that you made for me. It's gorgeous. You need to do a video on that, which you have done, I know, on your technique, but it's unique. There's something that you do with the wood that
it
other
looks
people
better.
just can't do.
It looks better with white paint than it does with other colors. But that being said, I built that teal table for you behind your couch.
You did that real quickly, just simply because somebody needed to display some quilts at a flea market or a craft fair. And that color was beautiful. And I've tried to incorporate that color. It's like a Trevi fountain color. And that's kind of what I'm gonna go for to mix with the reds and mustards in here.
I might have to whoop out my saw again and start building furniture. Who knows?
Well, you have a knack for it, especially the finishing part. People can't do what you do. I don't think. A lot of people can't.
See what happens when I come up here and be still with my thoughts. I'm ready to go in the furniture business now. So, anyway, Well, we could wrap it up, I guess. We just wanted to visit, kind of give our thoughts on what was important to us in this world. We worry about our children, our grandchildren, and we want to make places in this world they can have happy memories. I think I would rather take on the worrying for my family and let them enjoy. You know, I'm kind of creating that kind of place at Hilltop Home Place where nobody missed a beat when we moved from one house to this house. My grandkids love coming up to this house now.
Yeah.
They're happy. And I think wherever Mama and Papa are, they're happy.
Mine loves to go to Mama's shed. She
Yeah.
calls this Mama's shed.
Wherever Mama and Papa are, she's happy. And I think that's just what it all boils down to. We'll kind of do the worrying, but even then, I'm learning more and more to give that worry to God and to not try to worry. Just try to live in today. Somebody's at Mom's house. Just try to live in today and kind of let God worry about it.
Give it over to God.
Just give it over to God, because there's so much I can't control. I'll just try to shore up the things I can control and then kind of let it go after that. But it's good to have little places like this to come kind of unplug. Oh well, we're gonna sign off. Thank y'all for joining us on we gotta finalize the name of our channel, but probably gonna be like Mama's house or something. So thank y'all very much. This is Lainey
And
Dara. Bye-bye. I hope that you enjoyed Dara and I's first episode of Mama and Papa's house. We hope you'll come back for any other videos that we post, and we are just going to endeavor to bring light and love into our videos, to bring God into the conversation, into the room, into the car, into the places of business we may go into. Whatever we do, we want to bring God into it, into this world, start a conversation with everybody. Please join us in that conversation. Please comment. Let us know what you think. What is it that's bothering you? What is it that has put fears or anxiety in your heart? And maybe we can address it, because we need to lift all those fears and anxiety and realize that we are not living in a challenging, terrible time. We are living in a blessed time where a lot of people are going to need strong people to help them get through it. And I believe the grandparents of this world are those strong people. We can help bring people through it and to the other side. Please hit the like button really quick, subscribe if you will, and turn on your notifications by hitting that top bell that says all, and it'll let you know whenever we post a video. We appreciate it. Please support us. And we're just looking for this channel to grow and expand, and we want you to come on this journey with us. Y'all have a great and blessed day. Bye-bye.